Hi all. So good evening. So does anyone knows how many participants will be there in this call? Like normally, I see only few number of participants. Is it correct number or do we have someone to join now?
Total number is 13.
Okay. So we'll wait till 6:10. Okay. Hi. So I think we can start now. We have wait till 10 minutes. So let me know once my screen is visible to you guys. So I hope my screen is visible to you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. So yesterday we have seen like kind of a basic stuffs in Python. Let's say how to print comments and some kind of operators, variables, input, how to read input, and few comparison operators. And we see what is a if condition, like how we write a code in a if condition. So this was the last part which we saw yesterday. So any doubts so far till now? So if there is any like someone have tried anything, and if you have doubts, we can just go 1 or 2 minutes. If there is no doubt, I will go for today's topics. And did someone try to install Python and try to write some code over there? Like anyone tried? If someone tried, just say yes or no. Let it be. Like, can you guys try today at least? And if you interact more, it will be good for me and good for you guys. Because if you interact more, I will get more about like in what level you are, so I can go into that stage. So now I assume that everyone knows everything. So is that is correct? And I can go for today's session. Is that is fine?
Yes, no doubts.
Okay. Okay. So yesterday, so far we have seen like how to save a number and how to save some kind of a string, like a name and stuff, and how to save some boolean values like whether it is true or false. And we have seen some list over there. So right now, for today's topic, what we are going to see is list. So you may already know what is a kind of a list. So list is a type of it is a kind of a data type where you are going to store a list of values, like continuous values or kind of some collection of values, you can say. Let's say you want to store values from 1 to 10. So let's say you want to store let's take a typical example of mark. Okay, this is like subject one. So mark of subject one. Okay, so the subject one, and you are, let's say you are getting 10 marks over here, and you are getting some, you are having some subject two, and for simplicity, let's say you are getting 20 marks, subject 3 10 marks, and subject 4 you are getting again 10 marks, subject 5 you are getting again 10 marks. So let's say we have 10 subjects, 5 subjects, and we are getting some respective marks to the each subject. Okay, so what we can do is we can create variables like this to save our subject values.
சார்
It's yeah.
லாபில 2 பேர் வெயிட் பண்றாங்க, பூமிகா அண்ட் சிவசங்கரி.
Okay.
அப்டேட் பண்ணு.
Okay, thank you. Whereas join பண்ணுமா? No, right? Okay, so far yesterday we have seen only like if conditions and other reading input from the users. So now today we are going to see about list. So first we'll see what is the need of a list. So why we need list. Okay, and list, let's say you are going to store marks of a 5 subject. So let's say subject 1 you are going to save 10 mark, and subject 2 you are going to save either 20 marks, subject 300 and something respective marks. So you have 5 subjects for you. Okay, you can create 5 variables respectively, and you can store all your 5 variable like 5 values mark of your each subject in this one, in this way. So if you have like a 5 to 10 subjects, this is fine, this is totally fine for you. So you can do like this. Let's say you have hundreds and thousands of like this kind of variables. You want to store hundreds and thousands of variable. Let's say you want to see for each and every day whether a guy is present or not. So you want to see for each day, let's say for respective today, you want to create one variable and you want to see whether the guy is present or not. So in that case, you want to see for 365 variables. See, you want to go for a 365 variables, which is logically too tough. So to overcome this, what we can do is we can create a list. So what this list is going to do for us is, so let's say I have a subject, which is my variable. So everything which is inside this boxed parenthesis. So I can say like it is a box parenthesis. Everything inside this one is called as like it. If you see something similar to this, it is called as a list in Python. Okay, it is a shorthand way. So you can say like 10, comma 20, comma 100, comma 50, comma 60. So you can store value something similar to this in a list. So what you are doing right now is you are creating a subject named variables, a name variable of subject, and you are creating a list to it. So this is the syntax to create a list, and inside that list you are giving some initial values, say 10, 20, 100, 50, and 60. These are my marks for the student one. So you can put simply like this, and it will create a list for you. So any doubts so far? Anyone? I hope there is no doubts. Okay. This is how to initialize and create a list in Python. Okay, so in Python what you can do is you can create something similar to this. You can have name over here, okay, and you can have false over here. You can store any kind of data type value over here. So let's say I have a number value, just integer value, and a string value and a boolean value in the same list. So this is allowed in Python. So remember that this kind of values, like you can store any values in list. It should not be like the list of integer types, list of string types, and list of some boolean or something like that. It is not like that. So you can store anything inside a list. So that is one of the main feature in Python regarding to list. So you can store integer as well as string as well as some let's say what to say like boolean values and any other values you like going on forward, any values you can see, you can store it into a list. Okay, so this is the first thing. So let me print out how our list will look like. Okay, so you can see, and if I'm going too fast you can say like you are going too fast, so that I can go somewhat slow if someone feels so. Okay, so I'm printing my list. Okay, I'm just printing my list called sub, which is my subset, and you can see my 10, 20, 50, and 60, and my names, and my name which I gave here is coming, and the false which I given here is also coming. So a list can store any n number of values which you can store into a list. Okay, this is to initialize a list. Okay, this is just to initialize a list. Okay, let's remove this for now. Okay, let's say these are your 5 subject values. Okay, so you are doing some program now and you want to add a value into a list, like you want to append a value into a list. Okay, in that case what you can do is you can put your list name, and there is a method called append. Okay, if you give this value into the append, let's say I want to insert simplicity, what I will do is I will insert like this so that it will be helpful for you guys. So I'm going to append the value 60. Okay, so it is going to append the 60 at the end of this list. I'll print it right now. So you can see the 60 is came at the end of the list. So list is based on first in first out. So the guy who's coming first is going to be at the first of the list, and the guy who is coming last is going to be the last of the list. Same thing like some ticket counters or something to you are going to a theater. So who comes first will get the ticket first, and who comes last get the ticket last. Same technology is like same kind of theory is going to happen here. So we are appending a 60 to it. So what the list will do is this append method will add this value 60 at the end of this list. So sub is your list, and this append method is going to add this 60 at the end of your list. So any doubts in this append method?
No.
So index of list. So index will start from 0, and 10 is a 0th element, and 20 is a first element, and 30 is a second element, and what is the fourth element? 50 is a like 50 is our fourth element. Okay, so in Python index will starts at 0, same like every language. So it will start from 0 and it will move on to the next value. So this append is going to add a value at the end of yours. So I'm just commenting it right now. Let's say you want to take a value from a particular index. Let's say you want to take this value 30. You know the 30 is available in your second position, which is from starting of 0. You are going to take from the second index, which is your third position. Okay, what you can do is you can put something similar to this, and you can put my 2. Okay, what it will do is it will go and take the index of 2. The index of 2 is 30, and it will print for us. So we got this 30. 30 is available at index 2. Since Python starts index at 0, so called 0, 1, 2, 3, and it is checking index of 2. Okay, this is going to get the index of 2, and we are getting the index of 2 equal to 30. So the 30 will be printing over here. So if you put take here, You just print the list as it is. It will print all the values in the list, and if you specify a specific number inside this braces, it will give that particular indexed value. So let me rerun it now. So you are getting the whole list as it is in the first print. You're getting a star, and then you are getting the second indexed value, which is our 30. Okay. Any doubts in indexing of list? Like it will start from 0 and it will go on towards its end. Any doubts in this indexing? I
No.
hope. Yeah. Okay. So there are no doubts. So you know this method append, and I don't want this now. Okay. Say right now appending this append method, what it will do is it will always add this value at the end of your list. At the end of your list, let's say you want to add a value at a particular position. You know a particular position, and you want to add in that particular position. So there is a method called insert. Okay. You can have an insert method, and the first argument is index. So let's say I want to insert at the first place. I'm going to insert some 100. So what this one is going to do is it is going to insert this value of 100 in the index of 0. So now you can see this sub is going to print something like 100, 10, 1, 30, 40, and 50. Okay, let me run it now. You can see 100, 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. So this 100 is inserted at this position at the start. If I change this to something, let's say like 2, and if I reprint it, it will go to the second position. In the place of 30, it will go and sit, and everything after this position will move to a next position, next position. So you can see 10, 20, and the index of 2. This 100 is added. Okay, this is inserted over here, and the 30 is going to the next index of 3, and so on. For the next elements in that list, it will go to the next position. So any doubts in this insert method?
No.
Okay. Basically, what else you need in list? Okay. So right now what we have seen is we know how to create a list, and then we know how to append some values in the list. Okay, and now we know also to check some particular value. Let's say I want to check index of 2. We know how to check. Let's say you want some specific use case where you need to check every value starting from 1 to the end. So you want every value starting from 1 until its end. What you can do is there is something called slicing, which is available in Python. Okay. So what this slicing is meant is you want to see every value. So start index, my start index is 1. So I want from the index of 1 to end value. This is your start index and this is your end index. So end index, if you don't give any end index, it will go until the end of the list. So let me run it right now. So you can see from the index of 1, so just because we are given 1 here, towards the last element, so we haven't given any end element, so it has given till the last. So syntax is like a list, and then you are having a start value, and then you are having an end value. Okay, so this is how a slicing will work for you. So slicing will return a new subset of your list. So you can see the print is also having a bracket, so you can see this is a type of a list also. Okay, so this is also a type of list. In the case if you give a particular value, say I want to read second value alone. So in this case, what will happen is you can see something without like a bracket. So it is not a kind of list. It is just an integer. If you do slicing, what it will do is it will return a new list. So you are getting a new list over here. Okay. Any doubts so far? I hope there is no doubt. And there is a method called type. Okay. what this is going to give for us, it will return what data type it is. So if you put a type of some value over here, it is going to give us what data type that particular variable is. So okay, you can see here it is of list type. So in the return you are getting a class of list. So this is how it is going to work for you. Okay, this is also fine, you don't need a type here. So now we'll go into our next things. Okay, now we are given a start index. So this is from type of 1, it is going to give till your last element, and then we'll give some end element. So I want from 1 to 3. Okay, so you want a start index of 1 to third element. So what you need to give over here is you need to give over here 4, because in Python this end is excluded, so it will not take this end. So if you give 4, it will take until the 3. I will run it right now. It will tricky. It will get confused over here. So start value will get included. So we'll get the value from the start, but the end value is excluded. So it will not take the end value. So it is like the index of end is something similar to, I can say, end minus 1. So we are giving 4. So 4 minus 1 is 3. So until 3 third index 40 you are printing over here. Okay. So if you give 3, you will get until 2. Okay. This is how slicing works in Python. So slicing is one of an important topic you may need while you are working with the list. So you have to give a start value and the end value. Start value is included and the end value is excluded, which in the case means it will not include this end value. It will print up to it will get up to this element, like the before element before your end. Okay, any doubts so far in slicing of this one, list slicing, or do I need to reiterate this if it is something you're not understanding? I hope you guys can understand that. So we
Yes.
know if yeah, thank you. And if we give 0, so you will get the first element. Like this is the index of 0, you will get the first element. So what you can do is you can get easily simple of 0th element, first element you can get easily. Let's say you want to get the last element. So my last element is of 4 size. So in real world scenario, right, you don't know what is your last index. So in that case, what you can do is you can give -1. So this -1 is going to give your last value in the list. So my last value in the list is 50 now. So I'm getting 50. So to get a first value, you can give 0. To get the last value, you can give like -1. So if you want to get a value which is prior than your last value, which is like your second last value, you can give -2. So we'll get 40 in this case. So we'll get like 40. Okay. So this is how the positive indexing and the negative indexing is going to work for you. I'll write the negative indexing also here. So -3. Okay, this is how your negative index is going to work for you. -1 will give you the last element, and -2 will give you the second last element, and so on. Like that only you are going to get your negative values index. So it is easy for you. So sometimes you want to fetch the last element of a particular list, you can directly give something similar to -1, and you can directly see what is the last value in the list. So far clear with what is a list and how it is working on. If we are okay with the basic of list, we can go into some more deeper into list. Okay, how the list is stored, like that. Clear? I hope it's clear. Okay. So list is a mutable object. Okay, list is something a mutable object. So yeah, the term mutable is very new for you. So what mutable in a layman terms or in a basic term means, you can change the value of list and it is going to reflect for you. So for now, let's understand something. So you can change the value of a particular list and it is going to affect you. Okay. So I will give some examples for you so that you can able to see how the mutable is going to work for you. Where in the case of your integer and your string are not mutable. String is basically or not mutable. So we'll see a classic example with string and we can move on with some integer. Okay, some list examples. Okay. So I have a variable called name. Okay, and then what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to uh, create one more variable called b and I'm going to assign the a to it. Okay, I'm going to assign the same a to it. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reassign the b is equal to uh, name 2. So I'm changing the value to b. Okay, next thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to print my a and I'm going to print my b. I'm printing both those values. So I'm going to print my a as well as I'm going to print my b. So you can see here I assign the value name to variable a and I am using I'm making the b which is equal to a. I'm redirecting it. So b is directly equal to a. So a is equal to name. So now I'm reassigning the b. So how I'm reassigning is I'm changing the value of b equal to name of 2. I'm changing the name equal to b equal to name of 2. Now I change the name to b. Okay. So now if I print a is still you are getting a name and b is something you are getting name 2. So these are immutable objects. So if you reassign so this is what my assignment first assignment occurs for b. So this yes.
ఒకసారి తాతయ్య నడిపిల్లమ్మా ఒకసారి తాతయ్య నడిపిల్లు
Hello, if someone has some doubts or
సార్ ఇట్ ఈస్
if that is not a doubt, can you mute yourself, or if you have doubt you can ask me. Okay, so you are assigning a value called name to variable of a. So this is your first time assignment. Okay, then you are assigning b equal to a. This is your first time assignment for b. Okay, now you are reassigning the b value. So whenever you are assigning or reassigning the a particular string type, okay, it will create a new memory space for you. It will create a new memory space and it will assign over there, so that your value is not reflected to a, since it is a separate variable and this is a separate variable. You are clear with this one? If you are clear, I can move on to the how in list it is going to work on. So this is something called immutable. Okay, I hope this is clear. So you are clear with immutable, right? So if you change value, it is not going to reflect your older values. Okay, now we are going to come for our immutable objects. So list is a kind of a mutable object. Okay, so same thing. So I'm creating a new list. So it is having 1, 2, 3, and a 4. And I'm reassigning I'm assigning b equal to a. So it's going to point the b is going to point towards a point of a. Okay, now what I'm going to do is b of 0. So b of 0 is equal to, I'm going to give 10. So b of 0 10 in the sense is I'm going to change the first value. The b of 0 is like first value to 10. So I change the first value of b to 10 and I haven't changed anything to a still yet. Okay, and what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to print my a and then I'm going to print my b. Okay, can someone guess what it will happen, what the a will print and what the b will print? Any guesses? Let it be wrong, no problem. So what this a is going to print for you and what this print b is going to print for you, value of a and you are putting b of 0 equal to 10. Anyone?
10, 2, 3, 4.
For which one?
A and
Print
B,
of
both.
A and B both. Okay, this is correct. Okay, so do you know, like, this is happening because the list is a kind of a mutable object. Okay, so if, like, I will print it right now. This is correct. So you are getting print of A is equal to 10, 2, 3, 4, and print of B is also equal to 10, 2, 3, 4. So this is because, so you are changing like you can see here, I haven't touched anything regarding to A, but I just changed the value of B of 0 equal to 10, but I haven't touched anything a value of A. So what Python mutable objects will do is, so Python will basically have heap memory. So if I go deep into it, we'll get some confused. Just right now, just assume that you have a memory space, something similar to RAM. Remember that. And when you are creating a new list, what it will do is it will allocate memory for you inside your memory. Okay, so you allocate your memory. So what you are giving right now is B equal to A. Okay, so instead of creating a new list for B and assigning all these values, if you do so, what it will do is you will get two duplicate lists in your memory. So your memory will be totally wasted. You are saving a same object twice. So instead of that, what it will do is it will pointer like it will pointer to the same list which is already created by A. So now B is pointing to this list and also A is pointing to the same list. So because these two elements are pointing to the same list, if you change a value of a particular list, it is going to change your original value. So this is your original value, this is your copy value. So if you change the value of a copy one, it is going to change the value of the original one also. So this is why if we change the value of index 0 of a B1, it is going to change the value of your A also. Clear with this? Any doubts in this one? Mutable objects of, like, how this is going to work for you? I hope there are no doubts. Okay, so there is a function called id. So what this id is going to give for us, it is going to give you address location of where this list is stored into your memory. For now, just have it as some kind of a number. Okay, like remember it is address or where it is, like, oh, we have an address for a home, right? So same like that, you have an address for your list which is stored in your memory. So if I print address of A and the address of B, it will point to the same place. So you can see this one and this one both are same, where in the case of list, because since it is immutable, and this is why your value is changing. If I change the value of B, it is going to change the value of A. Okay, where in the case of your string, okay, since it is immutable, okay, since it is immutable, the value will not be changed for you, and it will be like the value will be changed for you, and you can see here. Just give me 1 minute. So right now I'm going to comment this one, and I'm going to go to my previous example of string. So I'm saving my string to A, and I'm reassigning to, like, I'm clicking copy to B and reassigning my value of B. Okay, I'm printing A and ID of A, which is my address location of A, and B and my address location of B. Okay, so you can see here this ID is changing, which means if you reassign some values to a string, like immutable types, it will create a new memory space in your memory. Okay, so in the case of list, it is a mutable type, so if you change the value, it is going to reflect. Okay, clear with this one, like clear with this immutable and mutable objects?
Then
Any?
what's the difference for a pointer and ID? We can get both the addresses, right?
So yeah, there is some, like, a pointer is something you may heard of from your C or C++, right? So in C or C++, you may heard of something called pointer. Pointer is like your address location of this one. So in Python, you don't have that much of access. So you don't have something called pointer at all. So there is no pointer which is available for an end user to use over there. So ID is like address location of where your list is stored. Okay. So pointer is different and it is not there in Python. You don't have a pointer variable in Python. Okay. If you are clear or you have still more doubts.
Clear.
Okay, can we move to the next one? Fine, right?
Yes.
This mutable, okay. Yeah,
Just a minute, Raghu. Yeah,
okay.
as same yesterday, the meeting will end up around 6:47. So after that, we will have a short break and we will continue at 7. Yeah, over to you, Raghu.
Thank you. So I think I have covered pretty much in list. Okay. So moving on, you will get few methods similar to what you have seen like append. Okay. Like this and all some methods. Okay. This and all something you are going to see. And I will see like if there is any method. Okay. We'll see short. We'll comment this. Mm, I'm going to this. What this? Ayo. So so the short is going to short the values in the list. Like if you like right now have every value, let's say I'm doing like we'll add 100 over here so that you can see the difference. So let's say you have a list or it is which is not so shorted. Like I have some values which is not at all shorted now. Okay. So you want to sort the values in that list. Like you want to get it in ascending order. What you can do is you can use this method dot sort. It is going to reassign or it is going to rearrange in your original list. Okay, this sub is your original list. What this method of sort is going to do is it is going to reassign the value in your original list and in ascending order. So you can see my value 50, 60, 100, 205, 310 and 1140. So it is how the short will look like. And there is something a method called reverse is there. Okay, if you do reverse, it is going to reverse the order. Oh my god, I think I missed something. Wait, it's because okay, wait, I'll take this one. Yes. Okay, what is that name? Yeah, reverse. So there is a keyword called reverse, not a method. So if you give reverse of true, what it will do is it will reverse your thing. So it will reverse in your descending order. So by default, this reverse is false. So you are getting like in ascending order. And if your reverse is true, you will get into a descending order. So this is the difference between your for if you want to short and ascending and descending, this is how you can go. So these are the few list methods which are available, which are mostly useful for us to go on. And if you know the basics of list, you can learn this method easily. Like what are the methods available for you, you can learn. And I have covered what are the main kind of methods you need. You want to assign some value and then you want to short some values. So in the next session, like after our break, we can see how we can work with while loops and for loops efficiently with list. Okay, so any doubts so far? Can I assume that list is clear and you don't have any doubts in this list? Fine.
Yes.
nearly Arun, it will end by 47, right? Or is it ended? Okay, it is not ended.